YouTube live and all that good stuff. And let me go ahead and do this and this. Oh man, it's amazing when technology works. It's so amazing. I just love it. I almost think I'm a professional when things work. But when it don't work, I have nobody to blame but myself. And that's when you're in business for yourself, you can't blame nobody. You got to do it. It doesn't. People complain anyway, but I'm like you, Coach K. I don't complain. I have no excuses because I'm at fault when I do things that's mess up. So the only person I get mad
Yeah,
at is myself.
right.
And that's all.
I mean, and that is something to be said about just taking accountability, a little self-awareness, like, dang, I'm the problem. Mm.
I
You
always,
know what I mean?
I always say the problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem.
Yeah, and I like it when you said that. I really, that resonated with me because you're right. A lot of times it is your attitude that you have about the problem, right?
Yeah.
You are so correct in that one.
Yeah.
I definitely have to co-sign sometimes.
But you know what? I'm gonna sit there and say this. Like I think I told you, I was having back issues, and it was the doctor says my arthritis. And according to my wife, she said I'm just getting old. Between the both of them, I don't know which one to choke, so I choked neither. But I am feeling better today. I'm going to the gym today for the first time in a week,
Mm.
and when I went to the doctor for my back, I gained 2 pounds. I'm trying to figure out how did I gain 2 pounds when I'm doing it right. She said, "But you're working out, so it's that body mass. So you're gonna do that before it tapers back down again." Because I gained 2 pounds. I said, "Wait a minute, I've been doing the same thing I've been doing. She asked, going to the gym. It's going to happen."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't nervous about it, but I'm glad that she told me what I was doing. She said, "Don't stop what you're doing." Oh, I was gonna venture on to weights. Right now, I just been doing this. I'm getting myself all set up, and I was gonna venture over to weights. She said, "Don't do it yet.
Yeah.
Give
If you're
yourself
if you're having back trouble,
right."
yeah.
She said, "Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't do it yet, cause you be back here again." I said, "Yeah, I don't want to see you again." That's what I told her, and she looked at me, "Huh? You don't want to see me again?" I said, "No, I'm not gonna do it." So, but she was really uh, um really let me know about that. And also, I have to give a shout out to somebody. And the reason why I'm giving a shout out because somebody sent me a message and said you used their service. And they turned around and said, "Thank you, Ron, for sending me to her." I said, "Well, she asked for your information because I told her that I used you." And he just said, "Just thank you." He appreciate that, and that's how things get going, word of mouth going on. I know we're gonna talk about health and all that stuff, but Superior Pest Services, they're number one on my list right now. I
Mm-hmm.
got them on speed dial if I need anything. So he
Mm-hmm.
did say thank you, thank you, thank you, because you used them the other day. He was so much appreciative.
I mean, that's how it goes. Like you said, when it comes to small business, right? Each one teach one. You may don't have the budget to do the advertising and the things that, some of the, big box companies are able to do. So, yeah, spreading the word through, hey, referral after referral,
Yeah.
That's why, honestly, somebody said something to me. Service that another service that I'm about to use, and he said, "Listen, we are." He was like, "We're this is a new venture for us, like they're kind of expanding what they were already doing, right?" So he said, "This one is a newer venture for us." He said, "So be patient with us. If it's something that we can, give us the opportunity to, correct it or whatever. You know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
And I do feel like that does need to be extended to small businesses because, like you said, how many times have you gone to a chain or a big box service and been disappointed, but you go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I talk mad crap about Wally World, but I still go in there sometimes because sometimes it has what I need. You know?
Yeah.
So I do think it's something to be said about supporting, the small businesses, and the thing I like about that is I can't like I like I like HEB,
Mm-hmm.
some of the big stores and so forth. I like those stores. However, I cannot directly. Maybe you see some of the workers who are there, and you're like, okay, you're making an impact there. But when you know the business owners and their struggles and story and so forth, it hits different when you patronize those businesses. For me,
Right.
you know what I mean. So I'm always thankful for anyone that uses my services, and then return the favor with, other people. Even like some people, one thing I had to get out of, and I'm going to say this and then get into what I really want to talk about. But one thing I've had to get out of, so I really don't spend money where I don't want to spend money.
Mm.
So, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, like somebody said to me, she was like, well, some people just got it to support. And I used to do that. I used to do that. And then I had a bunch of stuff that I didn't need that was
Oh.
laying around my space.
Yes.
So I found that, in those instances where it's something that it may be product based or service based, but I don't necessarily need it, you know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
found that just by sharing, like I said, I have people flyers and business cards, at the front. So anybody comes in, can see, oh, well, hey, they may be looking for one of those services or something that
Right.
I have, there. So I definitely think that, it's different levels of support. Because, man, let me tell you, I was like, oh, I'm not buying a single other thing that I don't need, just to support. I'm up here, now I got less money and more crap. What sense does that make?
We want to support everybody that we can, but you're right. Sometimes we don't need that, but
You don't
we
need
buy
it.
to support. And I understand. So support could go this way, just like you
Yeah.
said.
I
As
mean,
somebody,
there's many ways.
right? So like you, I brag to you who I had,
Mm-hmm.
and you asked me, "Can I give you that information?"
Mm-hmm.
That is support right there. You don't have to buy it, but we are a resource for you to get
Mm-hmm.
that information to you. So that
Mm-hmm.
means a lot. But now, if they get around and they turn around and they use it, please mention where you got it from. Please mention you got it from Coach K. Please mention you got it from Ron G. They
I
told me
hear you.
about it.
Yeah. Come through. Listen, I'm still waiting on you, MacGyver. I got some.
Oh, this
What you
girl,
doing?
this girl. I'm gonna have to get over there and exercise. I'm gonna
All
make a point.
right.
I'm gonna
Come
call
on.
you. I'm gonna call you. Well, anyway, I gotta schedule you because you are a busy lady.
I am.
So I gotta make
And
sure.
things are about to get busier. I'm so excited about my new venture, but I can't. I mean, just know when you talk about resource, I love to be a resource.
Yes,
But I'm also, I love to educate. But I'm funny, so that's coming all together. I'm just
I
going
know.
going
We
to throw it
we
out there.
we got
It's
a comedy show.
coming, so
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that. But today, yesterday I had it just clicked. You know how sometimes things just click,
Yeah.
right? So yesterday I realized that the start of my day, I had switched up the start of my day with my diet, as far as so I haven't been drinking coffee on a regular basis. So like, Monday through Friday, I like Spark. I really like the green. It's a like kind of an energy type thing, but
Yeah.
it's I like it hot because I still have to start my day with something hot, and tea just ain't it. You know what I mean? So it's just not. So I've been starting my day with it, but I steep a cinnamon stick and in the water and let it steep for a little bit, and then put the spark in, and because really I'm where I tend to sip on coffee, that because I get it to the temperature that I just like to drink, and I usually just drink it all, which is the most effective.
Yeah.
But moral of the story, I'm not putting, because I don't do black coffee. I like Italian cream in my coffee. You know what I'm saying?
I do black
So
coffee.
that's on you. I don't. I like Italian cream, sweet Italian cream. So yesterday, I did the same, my spark, you know, and I was good, but it ran into, just like now, I had to grab some. I was like, oh man, I hope this doesn't send me into a tailspin because I had no time to have any breakfast before I started rolling, and I didn't have any breaks to be able to get something quick. And I don't have quick stuff. I don't have any fruit right now. I think the last time, if it turns me off, you got me for a minute. The last time I brought some fruit, I was like, man, it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know, I'll come back to you, right? So I have nothing quick. But I remembered that I purchased some granola. Now, I know everybody's like, oh, okay. No, 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 no. I purchased granola because I don't usually purchase granola. Why? It's high in sugar. Kills it in sugar. Kills it in sugar, right? So I I grabbed a handful of it, and I'm eating it, and then I was like, man, I'm starting to drink some my water now because I'm like, dang, it's just sweet. Well, throughout the day, my choices included in some way, even if like I had like a crab cake and salad, but then I had like some ginger ale. It kept influencing because I right then, like you said, that bolt of sugar as the first thing that I had, it it just influenced my decisions. It made my body crave the sugar because as the sugar was going away, it's like, hey, 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 I need more sugar. And I'm not thinking about it. And, this is how it's going. Have some rice, have some this, and I'm saying have some popcorn. And it's because my body is missing that sugar, and I started off so strong with sugar where I hadn't been doing that. I hadn't been doing that. I've been doing my spark, and then I, have my protein or veggie or something or whatever, whatever it is I have, and I'm good to go. But because I started my day right, with sugar. Even though, and I mentioned my coffee because I still start my day with sugar. That's why I took it out because I was like, that craving. Now, a lot of times, just being honest, I could just take a couple sips and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it don't be that much. But sometimes I drink the whole cup. You know what I mean? And it's all of the calories, all of the sugar.
Yeah.
So I just, it made me say, oh, look at you. You gave yourself what you did, what your body, doesn't really need to function on. And
Yeah.
now it's influencing all of your choices throughout the day. I'm still eating vegetables. I still had vegetables. I still had lean protein. But let me tell you, it was some sugar stuck in there. It was. So I want to, just remind everybody that, you know, I posted this video, and my team Wanna Go Fit Facebook group, and it was I believe Mike Tyson. Was it Mike Tyson? And he was talking about how sugar should be a narcotic. It should be a drug, because it is. It
Hmm.
really, I mean, it's not classified as that. However, sugar is the one thing that pretty much everybody thrives on. And you could say, "Oh, I don't eat sweets," but do you drink alcohol? "Oh, I don't drink alcohol." Do you eat crackers? Do you eat bread? Do you eat pasta? So, sugar is the one thing that we, like you said, really don't need, because it keeps, where it's not doing us any good. Not to say, because carbs, you have natural sugar. Natural sugar is in your fruit and stuff. Natural sugar is in the cinnamon stick that I put in my spark, because why? It helps stabilize my blood sugar for the day.
Yes.
you know so it helps make me make those good choices. You know what I mean? So I just want to encourage people to pay attention, because sugar comes in all shapes and forms. And if you start your day now, I said, oh man, I may be worried, because I had to grab another handful of this daggone granola, because that's the only quick thing I have,
Yeah.
right? However, I had some boiled eggs before that. You know what I'm saying? So I had protein, and I mean, I only eat two of the. I have four, and I usually eat two of the yolks. So I still had some protein. I did have some fat. Now going into this with the sugar that I had, because I had the fat, it will help absorb some of that sugar that's already that I'm putting into my system, because I have the fat. Usually when you wanna, you kind of do it together. So but you want a healthy fat. Not that, egg yolk is necessarily the best, but it's not the worst, right?
Right.
So hopefully, hoping for the best. Hope I don't. Oh, but I think actually, I think I'll be fine, just because, like I said, starting the day, with at least some sort of protein, some sort of, something solid, not
Yeah.
something sugary, usually will set the tone for the day.
But
So
you
for y'all that's like me and like your coffee with your creamer, you may want to switch it up. You may want to switch it up. If you say, "Oh, I had some toast with a little bit of jelly on it," you may want to switch it up. You may want to switch it up. And you like your oatmeal, but you like your oatmeal, and you put all of the sweet things in it. You may want to switch it up. Just saying, not to say you can't have the
hmm
oatmeal, but use like natural stuff. That's what, like you said, the cinnamon, the spices. Use those
right.
things instead of the butter. You may use a little milk. I don't know what you use, but just again, be mindful of how you're starting your day, the amount of sugar that you're giving yourself, because it's like the big green monster, boy, be on your back all day. Okay,
That's right.
so
You
that's
know,
my public service announcement.
and to piggyback off your public service announcement, one of the things that the industry done that everybody says is when they developed that corn syrup. They was putting it in everything and on everything. It was supposed to revolutionize making products and stuff, but that was so much sugar added on when they did that. And then later on, the years go by, they found out how bad it was for some people.
Right.
So they come out with something, and we gotta be careful for the new things that come out, because we are their test pigs. We are the one they're testing it on. They do not know the long term effect, and the long term effect could point blank take could kill you.
Mhm.
But we don't know that till
Mhm.
later on. Then they do the study. Oh yeah, when this came out, they didn't study this. It's like it's a rush for them to get it out to see how many of us are gonna get sick, how many is going to die before they pull it off the market. Like one thing they pulled off, if I'm right, is the red dye. They
Yeah.
found out that that could cause cancer in some
Cancer.
people. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so we gotta be mindful of the new products that come out, which brings my public service announcement: grow your own stuff. That
I
that
co-sign.
that'll cut it out. And then if you want real meat and real food, go with 4 or 5 people to go in on a cow, chicken,
Mm-hmm.
pig, and go to the
Mm-hmm.
and go and you get
Mm-hmm.
that fresh meat. Then you cut out all that chemicals and all that stuff. It's a
Yeah,
little bit expensive,
it is.
but it goes a
It
long
is.
way. Because if you get a freezer
It is.
special, they said the average meat when you do something like that, when you butcher it, will last probably a little longer than a year in your freezer.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to
Mm-hmm.
see down what you want and everything. So if you do that, come together as a group and do that, it won't cost that much if everybody's putting something in there. So
Yeah, that's a good way
yeah,
to look at it. I have to admit, I fall I fall into that lazy category. I remember when I was a kid, right? My grandma, her people is from Darlington, South Carolina, right? So I remember my uncle had brought up some stuff. He brought up fish. This was he, and it was salt for. I didn't eat catfish because of it, because I had it and it was a saltwater catfish. Terrible. I hated it. And then he also, I remember, brought up some chicken. Well, this chicken was from the farm, not from the grocery store. And my grandmother fixed it, and I said, "This chicken tastes funny. I don't want it. I don't. I don't know what you did different, but I don't like it." And she said, "That's because it's from the farm." I said, "Well, I like buying from the grocery store," and I and ever since, I mean, I will go to the butcher. I will go to the butcher, to the shop. It's a shop I like from time to time, but convenience, just being honest, makes me hit that HEB. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But if I could, if I and honestly, just keeping it 100. I am about. I'm one of those people. I like to be able to ride my bike or walk to anything that I need, and
hmm
where I'm at, I can pretty much do so. They put a butcher or something over there, man. That would be fantastic. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That would be awesome, and I would, shop there more. However, HEB is right there. So, hey, if anybody wants to put in on a cow or something or whatever, I got $100 on it. Let me just.
Somebody asked me one day, "Do I go fishing?" I said, "Yes, I do." "Well, where you go fishing at?" "I go right down to HEB because it's already filleted for me."
I really do want to try fishing. I've never been. I'm not into like touching the stuff. I don't want to touch anything. I I
Yeah,
just want like I want to do the thing and reel it in, and somebody else could do the other stuff. But
yeah.
I'm very interested in that part. I think that'll be
Well, I was an adamant fisherman because I used to go fishing all the time.
mm,
Up in Illinois, and when I first moved down there, I would go fishing. Well, somewhere down the line, last time I went fishing, I think we drank more beer than we caught fish. And I looked at it, I said, "You know what? I'm done." I haven't been fishing since. It's been about 15, 20 years ago. And I
wow.
haven't been fishing since because it's a sport and I didn't see no fun anymore. You just like
I
a
can
burnout.
imagine. Yeah,
It happens. But
yeah.
will I go back out there again? Don't be surprised, girl, if I tell you I went and got me a tackle box and fishing poles. I'm going right back out again. So,
Everybody, is entitled to their seasons of things.
yeah.
We go through seasons of food, seasons of activity. I've said before, man, I used to be, an avid boot camp girl. Not my jam anymore. I used to,
Yeah.
I still like boxing and kickboxing. Do my body or my hip really like it? No. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so now I do some other things, it's all
Yeah.
good. Like I saw Ron, it's so funny. Because I like to do different things. Like usually when you come, you may do the same exercises, but it may take months for that same exercise to come back sometimes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So so I'm just looking at, different videos, right? And I saw this. So it was this one girl, and she had the new Ti song. I'm like, hey, that's it, and I love it. That's my jam. So and I was like, well, I'm watching it. But as I'm watching it, and she, the whole time she jumping and it's that, and I said to myself, that's not where I'm at anymore. I used to be the jumping queen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I say everything had a jump to it, I still do. I still have it in there, but it's less of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just funny because I was like, wow, I've gotten older. And some of my
Oh.
clients that I've had have also gotten older. So I've had to adjust, some things. And sometimes, like you said, you get some, young and whatever, but I'm a woman of a certain age, so I tend to attract a certain audience. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So, with that, they not doing all the anymore. And I'm like, okay, let's adjust. And I guess I just adjusted right on with them.
Yes, you
That
have.
part.
Yeah.
That part. You've been doing your push ups and your tricep dips?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said your back hurt though, huh?
Yeah, absolutely not. You trying to kill
You
me,
said
girl.
not absolutely
Yeah.
not.
It's,
Dang,
it's one
okay.
thing. It's one thing I learned later on in life. You have to know your limits.
That part.
And because I can't relive what I used to do because my mind could tell me, but my body's telling me, hell no.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
You
listen
know
to my
what?
body and
That's
I do things.
Yeah, that's why I said something about all the jumping. I still was, and I still touch myself because I can still do ninja jumps, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs to be a nice padded surface. Don't think it's going to happen on like, you know, my body said, no, ma'am.
It's just like I was out doing something. I was in back of my truck, so I stood up on the tailgate, and Smart Me was going to jump down. I said, "Don't do it, Ron. Don't do it." I sat my butt down and crawled off
That's right.
because I
That
know
and
my
the same.
limit.
The same.
Yep.
I was doing something now because, like I said, I can still like box jump it, but I'm intentional when I'm doing it
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's just different. And then I'm usually on a padded surface.
Yeah.
So I was, again, on the top of something that the surface below was not padded. And I
Yeah.
said, hmm, let's not jump down from here.
Yes. Exactly. You know what's funny is somebody in Russia wanted to do that. I said, "Why didn't you jump? You young." I said, "No, I'm not. But you young man." I said, "Look here, dude. I'm not jumping off." And he said, "Well, you with as young as you are, you should be doing things so you stay in shape." And I looked at him. I said, "Well, how young do I look?" "Oh, you look about 51, 52." I said, "Thank you. I'm 71 years old."
Mm-hmm.
He looked at me and said, 71? I said, "I work smarter, not harder."
I know that's right. I know it's you. As you should, you try to get older. You know, and that's funny that you say that because I make jokes about it, you know, but as I've gotten older, I've definitely um I work smarter. I move, you know, move a little smarter. I don't do a lot of the quick actions that I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I can't, but just because it's not smart to do so. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And then just making sure that what I do now is more helpful to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, I know that if I go run outside, I can run outside for a little bit. I can, but I'm gonna feel that in my hips and my
Yeah.
knees and so forth. But if I go, and even though it's not my favorite thing to do, but if I go and I run on the treadmill,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just about knowing where, you know, where to adjust and how to adjust. And like you said, as we age, that's why, you know, I moved more into education to be able to help people as you age, because God willing, you want to get older.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's too many people that's leaving this earth way too soon. If you ask me, I don't want my name to be up on there, even though I don't know. I
Right.
want to do my part to try and be here. As you said, as when we began the segment, you said, you know, that's a great song. Keep on moving, don't stop. And you know that's really what it is. One of my clients, she said that her mother-in-law just decided she was like, I think she needed knee surgery, decided she didn't want to do that, and just sat down in the wheelchair and been in the wheelchair ever since.
Mm.
Just didn't necessarily need to be there, but was just tired of it, tired of
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on now. If you are going to make the decision to be Sagittary, to just eat poorly or whatever it is that you're doing, because we all have something we doing that we don't need to be doing. You know, however, man, if moving is the one thing that you thinking about cutting out, don't do that.
That's right. Don't.
Don't do that. Because I mean, if you're making poor diet choices, well, at least maybe you can burn off some of it if you move enough. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if you got body aches and so forth or whatever, you know, I've gotten to the point where it's like, if I only have 20 minutes and dang it, that's all I have. And I just give my 20 minutes. That's that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Fine.
But you
But that's something.
yeah,
That is something.
you know what I did? I think I shared this with you at one of the events at a Chicago bike. They was doing double dutch. And they were out there going to town. I said, huh, let my old self get out there. And I did.
Did you?
I put the video out there.
Oh
Then when I got finished, I went inside.
that's what's up.
And then when I got finished, went inside, how was it? I said, that's for young people. I
Oh,
was
that's
out of
right.
breath, but I want to prove point to me that I could do it. And then they said, I told them my age. I said, you know what, Ron? We got 80-year-old ladies come out here in double dutch, and they
Mm-hmm.
do. I said because they did it all the time. This was my first time ever doing it. I
You
never done
never
it.
double dutch
I
before?
never double dutch before.
Shut up.
So
Now, you know, Ron, that is awesome. I applaud you for trying something new like that. That's
yeah.
what's up.
So I dabble with things, and I don't let my mind overcome my body.
I know that's right.
Cause my mind said go out and do it, and my body said, "Yo, Ron,
Yeah.
you know what's going to happen." you know you're gonna be sore, and you know you got nobody to blame but yourself. So I listened
Is
to my.
that when your back hurt after you double dutch?
No, no,
Oh,
that
okay.
was it. Wouldn't have no problem with that then because I was fine. It was just a week ago my back started hurting, but it was way before the double dutch was a lot. Yeah, but I knew it wasn't that. So, but anyway, I feel better. But I tried it. I always say I'm gonna try something new. Just like I said, when we go to Jamaica, I am not eating any American food.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try everything down there. And
Hmm.
and then I spoke up, told my wife when I get finished eating them, I said, "Where can I get some ganji from?" She looked and said, "Boy, you better not ask for any of that down there."
First of all, that's hilarious. It's ganja.
I just name it anything. Ganja. Okay, thank you for. I remember that. You got some ganja?
That's funny. Well, I listen. I think that when you go other places to not indulge in their culture is a true crime. So definitely get in where you fit in. You know, you
Right.
may try some things that I try. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a real adventurous person when it comes to food. I'll try some things, but I'm real funky with textures. Like fish, if it's looking back at me, you know I ain't eating. You get that wrap off of that table. I no, no,
Oh boy,
mm-mm,
I can see
no.
it right. It's
So
looking at
yeah,
me.
anything. No, no, not no. My client yesterday, he said he went to this restaurant and they had some they had ducks, which I like duck, but he was saying that they had them like where you could like they just you see that they're taking them and whatever, right? And I'm like, oh my god. And he was like, but coach, it's gonna be it's really delicious. And he said, they don't waste anything. So they have that soup and he said, you may see like, a little what he said, a little beak, a little he probably messed with me, but what if he's not? And I'm like, you don't have to worry about me. He's like, but coach, it's gonna be good. He said the inside is so tender and so forth. And he said, the outside, the skin was kind of uh, like a chitlin. I said, what makes you think I eat those? I don't eat those.
Boy.
What? And he said, they're delicious. I don't think so, homie. I don't subscribe. You don't have to worry about me. They don't have to worry about me.
Mm.
Now, if they just came out from the kitchen, you see, it's just like going to the HEB and getting my meat. I just go HEB, get it. You telling me I'm walking in there and I can see where ducks where you just taking one down and no sir. Uh-uh. Not my cup of tea. I will be up there at the other Peking duck or whatever, where they just bring it from the kitchen.
It's fresh.
I,
Well, I made a pot roast one time.
hmm.
Um, and the young lady that I was dating years ago, I put on a pot roast. She said, "Oh man, that was the best pot roast I ever had." And and I didn't want to tell her, but it was deer meat.
Mm.
But she told me she didn't like deer. And I prepared it, and she ate the thing, and it had a second helping. And then 3 months later, I told her, that pot roast I made, that was deer meat. No, it wasn't. I said, yeah. We arguing about. She knew it was beef, and I said, no, it was deer meat. To this day,
Right.
she probably still don't believe she ate deer.
I mean, I've had like the jerky, and that's good. I've had that, and I think maybe I've had like some sausage,
Yes.
and that was all right. Um, I'm more of a texture person too. So I mean, definitely I can't see it. You know, we've established that.
Right.
But the texture has to be right for me. Um, and it has to. If it's not appeasing to the eye, you really don't have to worry about me eating it. You
Mm.
know, if it don't look right, if it don't smell right,
Yeah.
mm-mm. And you know, that's what keeps me from like some of like the African dishes. People like, oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a lot
So,
of it's a lot of stuff. I just yeah, I'm
okay.
pretty simple, you know. Eat fish.
Yeah, which goes into a segue into this right here. Now we know you got your March veggie challenge going on. Is it a challenge or are you doing week by week?
No, no, no. This one, so it's the right. It is the my veggie Mondays. So veggie
Okay.
Mondays really haven't been too steady recently. I think I told you it was a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have the capacity. Life was just life, and then I didn't have the capacity. However, since then, it's not that I haven't not done Veggie Mondays. It's just like well, this past Monday it didn't go well. Just from the day of how it moved.
Yeah.
But on last week I did do Veggie Mondays. The only thing is I believe I had a piece of trout with dinner because I
Oh,
needed something. I didn't
yes.
have none of the vegetables or anything that I had was heavy. Everything was light. And that's the key when I do it for me. I so if I have to have something that I got to be full. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
because if not, I'm just eating, eating, eating. So it has to be, you know, substantial. That's why you'll hear me. I'll use like, you know, kind of cauliflower, like I'll do cauliflower casserole a lot. Why even and I don't really like to do like and it's so funny because I had sweet potatoes last week and I don't and like you said, but I don't eat a lot of it at the same time. So it was like to sit there and really feel like I was full, I would have had to eat a lot of potatoes. And
Mm.
I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah.
I just wasn't gonna do that. So that's why I had the salmon with it. But you know, so that was all right. Like I said, this past Monday, still had at least 3 servings of veggies, even though I,
Yeah.
you know, still didn't kind of make it but it definitely has put me in just more of awareness of how many veggies that I I didn't eat because you know what I mean. It just that's all it was. It just made me
Hmm.
aware of you're not eating as many vegetables as you think you are. So when I do Veggie Mondays, even if the day like last week or
Yeah.
this week, just the day didn't flow like it was supposed to. However, I had stuff in here that you know I could make it happen, and I still ate those things. It's just that I got ended up somewhere else for like dinner. It was crazy, but anyway.
No, it's funny that I
Mm,
go through my stages of veggies that I want. So
yeah.
my wife is doing some stir fry today for
Mm,
dinner, and I said, "Can you get some bean sprouts?"
mm,
And she looked at me, I like bean sprouts,
mm-hmm.
and I can eat those by itself, saute and just eat it. And she said, "No, I'm good." I said, "It's not for you, it's for me."
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll put them in there. I'll put some bean sprouts in and the stir fry.
Yeah,
I don't mind them. I'm not going to say that I would just eat them by themselves. You know,
yeah,
it's funny because I had got a big thing of fresh broccoli, and I made some like I mixed roasted cauliflower and broccoli together. But then I realized I was like, man, I'm really just digging the broccoli. So I made some roasted broccoli with the rest of it. And I was thinking to myself, man, I need to go get some broccoli. I'm on broccoli right now. I was off
Yeah.
broccoli. Now I'm back on broccoli. You
Yeah.
know, so it's definitely like salad. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
like I'm on salad right now, but then sometimes it's like kind of over salad right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do appreciate just making uh having a at least a good variety, because like I said, I say quote because there's a lot of things I still just don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody asked me about eggplant, I was like, no, I don't.
But my
You
wife,
know,
my wife asked me the same thing. Have you tried eggplant? Yeah. I just said yeah. She said,
hmm
"You're not going to explain." I said, "There's nothing to explain. I'm not doing it again." I'm
me and you are
sorry.
here, my brother.
I said I'll try something one time, and when I tried that time, did I finish it? Absolutely not.
Well, and then you know what? So sometimes I'll give it a second chance.
Mm,
Sometimes I'll loop back around because if it's prepared a different way, then that may make the difference.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm with you.
yeah,
It was a texture thing for me.
yeah,
Wasn't, really digging it. But I do think that, like you said, I still have a good wide variety of
mm-hmm.
vegetables. There's so many different squashes and so forth. And, I don't know. I know you'd be looking for asparagus. They were on sale at HEB. I saw the
Yeah,
other day. I got some. But it's just different things. I've started it, and just like little things. I've started, instead of getting the bags of like kale or
mm,
like the greens, I'm like, you know, I spend more time picking out stalk than it was
yes.
faster just to and cut it out myself,
That's
right?
same here.
So little things I think just have been making the difference, in my diet too. And like, so making me eat more vegetables, because it's
Mm,
like, again, I don't have to, I'm finding ways to work smarter. And so that way I can have,
yeah,
more of the things that I like, because a lot of times it is a little time consuming,
yeah.
to cook like I want.
You know what I seen the other day? We went out to go eat, and it got appetizers there. I seen fried cauliflower,
Mhm.
and I said, "Huh? You fry
Mhm.
that?" And I asked him how to prepare it. Do you want to try? I said, "No, I'm good." Now I just looked at him. My wife looked. I said, "No, I'm good. I just want to know was. Oh, it's real good. I can bring you some. I'm good."
Sometimes, like you said, it's battered. You know,
Yeah.
it's a batter. They do a lot of like if you go to like the sushi restaurants, or whatever the Chinese restaurants. Sometimes they'll have the tempura vegetables. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Um, and I definitely don't need it like that. I'm not. And now, one thing I haven't had them in years, but I used to like was those fried mushrooms.
Oh, girl, I love fried mushrooms.
Mm, I haven't had them in years.
Sometimes we go out and I'm in the mood for it. The restaurant that we pick, they got to have fried mushroom. It's not that
Yeah,
many restaurants that do it anymore, though.
right. You're right. They have like more of the fried pickles, and it's
Oh,
all
I
okay. I can
tried that,
do
and
that.
boy, you talking about spitting something out real quick. I tried a fried pickle for once and see what it was like. Oh, it wasn't sweet. It just had a nasty taste. And
Mm,
somebody tried this, and I tried it, and I said, "Where's the napkin? What for?" I said, "No, no
yeah.
more for me. I'm
Yeah,
done."
it's a acquired thing, and it has to be right. And I
Mm-hmm.
just really have gotten to where I can pass. I can pass. I can pass.
Especially you go out with people and they order the appetizer and it's fried pickles. You want to try this? Nope. I said, I'm good. And that's my favorite word when I say I'm good. Because when my wife hear me say I'm good, she know I'm not touching it.
Yeah. And you know what though? It's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I call them hard nose, you know. So I have a lot of hard nose. I'm just not going to eat it. You know, I'm not interested in it. If I can't have this with it, then I don't want it. You know, and I take a bite out of it and it is not worth the calories that I know it is, I'll send it back. I don't want it. You know what I mean? It's the hard nose that I feel like that's what comes with discipline. You know, when you're disciplining your diet, and it doesn't mean that you can't have things that you like to have. It just means that you have the discipline not to eat them all the time. Right. And then when you do have them, making sure it's worth it. Because again, just eating to be eating is not going to be helpful. You know, not going to be helpful. Like I said, what did I tell you with the why I had salmon, or not salmon, but the trout, you know, with dinner, because I was like, I'm not just going to be eating potatoes just to be eating potatoes. Right. I already had a serving. It was like, all right, I had that. And I can't remember what the other vegetable it was that I had. And I usually can put another vegetable, but I was like, I don't think I had another vegetable is what it was. Yeah. So, no. Not just going to be eating to be eating. Nobody got time for that. No, yeah. And brings it back. Remember my public service announcement. Start your day with sugar. The monkey going to be on your back all day. That's your fault. Start off, if you can, with some healthy choices, you know. Clean, lean protein, some vegetables, a simple sugar, meaning fruit or something like that. You want to do, you know, a carb, do oatmeal, use your cinnamon and so forth, your natural spices. Right. Telling you know, have some things that are staples in your diet that work for you, not against you. That's my other public service announcement.
All right, with the few minutes we have left, I got to ask you this one question. With springtime coming around, people use springtime like they use the first of the year. They make their resolutions. And then by the time January 3rd come around, they forgot about it. So with springtime coming up, what are some pointers you tell everybody when they get out there, mainly don't try to start too fast and hurt yourself, and stretching is more important. What advice you have for people who's going to get out there and exercise outside?
Make it fun and stay hydrated if you live in Texas.
That was right to the point. Thank you, Coach K.
I mean, that's it. Like you said, if it's something that you don't want to do, are you going to continue doing it? No. So make it fun and stay hydrated. By staying hydrated, you avoid cramps and so forth, you know, helps with, you know, all of the things, circulation and so forth. Stay hydrated. Make it fun.
So let's point out about staying hydrated. That don't mean the day of. That means you should hydrate yourself a couple of days before you know you're going out there, because a lot of people make that mistake, say, I'm drinking all this water right now, so I'll be okay. That's fine. But you should, as a matter of fact, you should still stay hydrated 24 hours a day.
I was just about to say, it shouldn't matter what you're doing. Right. You should always have, like, you know, all right, so the rule of thumb, got mine half right. Your body weight in ounces, right? Whatever cup it is that you have, half your body weight in ounces.
I think we got
I know two of these is more than what I need.
Right. So we got the same size cup. So, and you know, and I drink my water. Matter of fact, the doctor asked me, well, I drink enough water. My wife turned around and looked, that dude drinks water all day. He drink, and I do. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm flushing my system out and I'm doing those things and I'm eating right. And people, you know what? The hardest thing for people to do is to start eating right because they're so used to eating wrong. When they start eating right, and when they start doing it, you'll see a subtle change where you can taste that excess salt in food. You can
Yeah,
taste that
you can.
excess sugar in food because your body's getting used to something different. But right away, when I go to restaurants, I say that's too much. I can't eat this. I tell them right away, too much salt in there.
Well, I don't think that the hardest thing for people to do is to start eating right. Is because it's just because you go at it gun, gas pedal down, and you know that's why. It's just like I said, when you get outside, make it fun,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. You don't gotta be outside. Like for me, I'd be like, nah. Like somebody asked me, why don't you have, one of the events, because she said, outside. I said because I have to be comfortable. I don't want to be outside. I don't want to. If I get hot, if I get itchy, if my eyes start running because I'm out in the elements, no. I make sure I'm comfortable so I can present myself as my best self. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not outside, but whatever I'm doing, I'm having fun with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can dance around, I can ride my bike, I can be whatever. As far as eating, starting to make good choices, you know, people again gas gas pedal to the floor, and
Mm-hmm.
if you just start gradually by making little changes add up to big change. So
Right.
I mean, take that mindset and just go out the door with it. Start
Yeah.
small.
Okay.
It's not that. Look, I have a say. I always have like it's not that serious, and this is serious. What you eat and your health is serious. However, if you take it to the extreme and you become extra obsessed about everything, that's not helping you either.
Mm, that part. All right. In closing, what do you want to tell everybody? I know we got something big coming up, but we gotta wait.
Man, we got big
Wait.
things
Yes.
coming up. We got karaoke line dance party. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. We're gonna walk through that. We got locking in these dates for our fitness and nutrition expo in September. Of course, the brain health fair in November. And then I also got a little stuff in the background. So, if you look, if your coach is busy, but I'm not too busy to help you drop a couple pounds, get on track,
Hmm.
CPR, whatever. Hit me up. I'm around.
I gotta hit you up on that because I gotta get recertified for CPR. So,
I got a class next Saturday.
next
You
Saturday.
be working. You be busy too.
I,
You talking about me, but you be busy too.
I'm a little busy.
You a little busy. You're a little busy. It's all good. Listen. Busy blessings. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Busy blessings.
Yeah.
So I
So
appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, DJ Ron G. We're gonna make this happen, y'all. Y'all better
I
stay tuned.
yep, I hear you on that. Okay, Coach K, you take off and you do what you do best. That's showing people how to lose weight 1 pound at a time, and she's got that comedian side of her in there too. So y'all get two. You get two things for the price of one.
Hey, you gotta have fun. Did you
Yes.
hear what I said?
Yes, ma'am. All right, we'll talk to you later on, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Have a good day, guys.
All right, you too.
Recording stuff.
All right, everybody. That was our very own Coach K here on WSAN Radio, and really do appreciate her coming on. All right, so we're going to break things down a little bit within a half hour. We got Tiffany Cross coming on. Did I say that right? Well, anyway, so we'll be back at 11:30. For now, this is DJ Ron G on WSAN Radio. Peace and chicken.